testimony. Thomas Ledford, come on up here.
Well, as he told you, my name's Thomas Ledford. I came through here twice. The first time I came through here was August 2017. I was pretty broken when I came. I had some legal issues. I wasn't broken spiritually because I didn't believe. So there was no spirituality there. But I didn't know it at the time, but I was broken. I had a lot of health problems. And after I got here, I just basically came to show before I had to go finish up my legal issues with the court to show them a certificate. And my lawyer told me to go to Promised Land. He was referring to the one in South Carolina. I called them up, they didn't call me back. And then when I was online, Glenn called me back. That's what got me here the first time. Finished the program, graduated, went back up there to Tennessee. Instead of receiving 11 years in custody, I got 11 years probation. Most of that was by the weight of this program. This program carries a lot of weight even out of state. So I finished that, and then it would have been November of 2018. I reverted to old behavior for a couple days. Smart enough to call Glenn up, ask if I could come back. Well, this time when I came back, I didn't have the legal issues so much. My PO gave me her blessing to come down. I came down, stayed for 11 months. And this time, when I went back up there, I had a much better foundation. But there was two things. There's two people that I hated. Even after being saved, even after turning my life over. One was my ex-wife, and one was the gentleman that betrayed me, that started my legal issues. As time went on, got to get more into the Lord, I realized the guy that betrayed me, if he hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have come to Promised Land. I wouldn't have turned my life over. I wouldn't have known Jesus. I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. So he was forgiven. My ex-wife, and the leaders, they know stories on her. Yeah, it is. I ran into her about about 14 months ago, just out of the blue, and I couldn't believe it. And I looked at her, and there was no hatred anymore. I did tell her I didn't like what she did, and being a Christian, you learn forgiveness. You don't have to forget, but you learn forgiveness. To this day, we talk. A couple months ago, she said, I really blew it with you. I said, well, when you trade a 2021 Ferrari in on an 83 Yugo, that's what you get. So that's a blessing right there. When you guys leave here, and there are some things you do have to do when you go back home. First is you have to, old friends, you need to cut them loose. You really do. And people have found me on Facebook that I knew. When I tell them where I'm at today, they run. And that's fine. That's fine. But there's a couple that those people have turned their life over. They're doing the right thing. And it's a blessing right there. So that's all pluses. When I was on my way down here, I had quite an adventure on the bus trying to get here, a 24-hour delay. But I found myself an hour and a half, I was stuck on Interstate 40, not moving. And I was at the front of the bus, and my seatmate had just gotten out of prison, and he wanted to stay clean. And I was talking to him, and I didn't realize it, but I was the only one on the bus talking. Everybody was listening. And when I got off the bus, people came up and said, hey, you know, I really liked what you had to say. And that's what it's about. It's about me telling you there is a better way to do it. Preach the word of God, turn people to Jesus, and get rid of their addictions. And that's it in a nutshell. And one last thing I'd like to share real quick. The church where I'm at, like Glenn said, we differed on a lot of I'm from California, so you can imagine our political differences. Well, the church I go to, they're Southern Baptist, very conservative. And I waited, I've been there 2 years. The first year, I waited till they got to know me for a year before I told them I came here, cleaned up. And what they did is when I told them last week I was coming here, 2 people put a couple envelopes where I sat, and I opened them up when I came home, and they'd give me $250 just for the simple reason is to come down here and be able to talk to you guys and tell you guys there's a better life. Amen. Thank you.